Hey you guys, welcome back to Reports on China. I'm Andy. Now, as you can see, I'm in a different place. I'm actually at home. That is because I'm under quarantine at the moment. So today's show is going to be a bit different than usual. I hope you guys are cool with that. But yeah, basically, if you've been following the news about China's COVID situation, the northeastern province of Jilin has actually had a few thousand cases this week. And I was actually there last week. So because of that, my health code, as you know, the health code on your phone, you need it to go anywhere basically in China. So mine's turned orange and I need to remain here at home for 2 weeks. So I'm under home quarantine until next Saturday, I think, the 19th of March. So yeah, the show is going to be a bit different. I hope you guys are cool with that. I actually had to go outside the day before yesterday actually to do a COVID test at a fever clinic. Let's have a look at that clip. Okay, so I'm outside now, but that's because I'm allowed to leave home to go to a designated hospital. Because right now my health QR code is orange, which means I can't go to a normal hospital or inside any malls or really anywhere. But at the moment, I have to go to a designated hospital and take a COVID test. So I'm using the opportunity to take a walk, obviously wearing my mask, and we'll see how it goes. Now, as opposed to going to the normal area to do a test, I need to come here, 发热门诊, to the fever clinic. So it's quite serious. Okay, that's really scary. I've just left the hospital, the fever clinic, where I had to go to do my test. Now, it turned out I had a slight fever, 37.5 degrees, which isn't considered a fever in many places, except in China the level is 37.3. So if you're over 37.3 and you go to the fever clinic, you need to do 3 tests: blood test, CT scan, and normal COVID test. So I've just waited a few hours for the results. I was freaking out a bit, and it turns out no problem whatsoever. So I'm heading home now to do my last 1 week of home quarantine. So yeah, a bit of a scare there, but it just really goes to show how thorough things are here in China. Yeah, so that was a bit scary, to be honest. I had to do the 3 tests, obviously, but all fine so far. On the 19th, I need to go back to the fever clinic and do another COVID test, and then I'm free to go. So I've had a lot of time at home just to hang around, cook food, hang out with my cats, and do some reading. So I've been reading 2 books. Well, I'll finish one. The one I'm reading at the moment is called Has China Won by Kishore, Mahbubani. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Now, this is really interesting so far. He's basically talking about what it says up here, the Chinese challenge to American primacy. So yeah, very interesting. And I've finished this book here. It's called Censored, Distraction and Diversion Inside China's Great Firewall. It's by Margaret E. Roberts. Now, this is a really interesting book, actually. And one part I want to share with you guys just now is a bit of research she did on wumao. Now, you'll know wumao, or the 50-cent army, is basically what people love to call anyone who supports China online. It's the idea that they're paid 50 cents per post. And it turns out actually that 2,000 emails were leaked from an archive, from a Chinese government archive, with instructions for these people who are paid to post online. Now, I'll read you this part because it's quite interesting. Current conceptions of online propaganda in China posit that the 50-cent party is primarily tasked with countering anti-government rhetoric online. Social media users are accused of being 50-cent party members when they defend government positions in heated online debates about policy, or when they attack those with anti-government views. In large part, scholars and pundits have viewed 50-cent party members as attackers aimed at denouncing or undermining pro-West, anti-China opinion. Now, this is where it gets interesting. For the most part, however, the leaked online email archive containing 50-cent party posts does not support that the purpose of 50-cent party posts is to take on critics of the Chinese government or persuade people to support Chinese government policy. Very few of the thousands of posts in the archive were argumentative in nature or were aimed at defending the government against attackers or attacking its critics. Instead of attacking, the largest portion of 50-cent party posts in the leaked email archive were aimed at cheerleading for citizens and China, patriotism, encouragement or motivation of citizens, inspirational quotes or slogans, gratefulness, or celebrations of historical figures, China, or cultural events. Many of the posts were not even political in nature. So I find that really, really interesting. Actually really challenges the narrative people have of the 50-cent party, whether it even existed. And it turns out actually it's not that political in nature, and it's more about, as my last video about Chinese media pointed out, the role of Chinese media is actually unity, good news, cohesion, and togetherness. So yeah, quite at odds with Western media, I would say. Now, I also want to share with you guys some of my new merchandise. Now, this is pretty cool. I have this Reports on China mug. It's an enamel mug, you know, the old Chinese style. And on the other side, it says, but at what cost? Now, I think it's really awesome. I also have this really cool kind of revolutionary style Reports on China pencil case. And also this cute little stationery kit with Reports on China eraser, Reports on China pencil, and a but at what cost ruler. So do keep watching. Not today, but in a future video, I will tell you guys how you can win some of this stuff yourself. Now, I wanted to lastly bring up the situation with censorship online in the West at the moment in regards to the Russia-Ukrainian conflict. Now, it's actually really scary. A lot of voices are being shut down. Not just Russian media voices, but also, well, many people anyway are being finding rather that their accounts have been deleted or censored in some way. So that's pretty scary. I wanted to remind you guys about a New York Post article from last December, which was titled, How Beijing Influences the Influencers. Basically, that article suggested that Beijing, or the Chinese government, influencing YouTube, Twitter, basically online personalities about what they say about China and things like that. Obviously, that had no basis in actual reality or any evidence. It was just posited by those writers and put across as a really awful thing. Well, it's interesting because it's just come out recently that Washington is hooking up with TikTokers, famous TikTokers, and sharing their advice on the Ukrainian conflict. So I think if you have any problem at all with the idea of Beijing or the Chinese government influencing these online personalities in any way, then you should also have the same feelings towards Washington and the White House doing the same thing. Now, keep in mind that there was absolutely no evidence that Beijing was doing that, but there is self-admission and plenty of evidence that Washington is. So all I'm asking for is a bit of continuity here. If you're going to attack someone else for doing something you're doing yourself, I really don't think that's fair. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Also, let me know what you think about this video style. Obviously, I have no choice, so it's going to be this way for the rest of the week. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.